Good morning, this is Kris Shoemaker, also known as Yehudah ben Shomeyr, and you're listening to Coffee with Kris, the time of the day where we share a cup of coffee and share a bit of the Word of God. We are going to cover our 6th and 7th Sidra / Aliyah, the Friday-Saturday portion of Vayelech, which means, and he went out, and is taken from Deuteronomy chapter 31, verses 20 through 30. And it says, "For when I bring them to the land flowing with milk and honey, that I swore to their fathers, and they eat and are satisfied and grow fat, they will turn to other gods and serve them, and they will spurn me and break my covenant." Why is that? Because when we don't have any needs, we have no reason to cry out to God. When we're satisfied, we get fooled into thinking that we've done this on our own and done this ourselves. And when we fail to bless God and to thank Him for all of His goodness, blessings, and provisions, that's the way our heart goes. We're prone to stray. It says, "Now, when many evils and troubles have come upon them, this song will confront them as a witness, for it will not be forgotten from the mouth of their descendants. For I know the intention they are devising this day, even before I bring them into the land that I swore." That day, Moses wrote this song and taught it to Bnei Israel, the children of Israel. Then he commissioned Joshua, son of Nun, and said, "Chazak," which means be strong. "Be courageous, for you will bring Bnei Israel, the children of Israel, into the land that I swore to them, and I will be with you." Now when Moses had finished writing the words of this Torah on a scroll, right to the end, Moses commanded the Levites, carriers of the Ark of the Covenant of Adonai, saying, "Take this scroll of the Torah and place it beside the Ark of the Covenant of Adonai your God. It will remain there as a witness against you, for I know your rebellion and your stiff neck. Indeed, while I am still alive with you today, you have been rebellious against Adonai. How much more than after my death? Gather to me all the elders of your tribes and your officials, so that I may speak these words in their ears and call heaven and earth to witness against them. For I know that after my death you will certainly act corruptly and turn aside from the way I have commanded you. So evil will fall upon you in the latter days, because you will do what is evil in the sight of Adonai, provoking him to anger by the works of your hands." Didn't it say that in the book of Judges that men did what was right in their own eyes? Didn't it say through the books of Samuel and Kings that there arose a king, that did evil in the sight of the Lord? These predictions that were given in this passage were fulfilled in those passages I just cited. So verse 30 finally says, "Moses spoke in the hearing of the whole community of Israel the words of this song right to the end." So verse 23 of this passage gives encouragement, whereas verse 24 through 26 gives the children of Israel priorities, which means keep the word at the center always. And it's so easy. It was hard for them to do because they can only receive the word by hearing it. They didn't have their own personal copies. How much easier it is for us in our day and age where we have the word of God on our phone. We have multiple versions, hard copies of the word of God on our bookshelves and coffee tables. So keep the word at the center of your life. When you do, you will be less likely to stray, less likely to sin, less likely to do what Moses said the children of Israel would do. And so Moses died on his birthday, which happens to be on the Hebrew calendar, the 7th of Adar. And it says in Deuteronomy chapter 34, verse 5, "So Moses, the servant of Adonai, died there in the land of Moab." And it was actually on Mount Nebo, "as was from the mouth of Adonai." I think that's very interesting. So according to this verse, the way it's worded in Hebrew, the way it's hinted at in Hebrew, that the way that God took Moses' life was by a kiss. If you love a child, you tuck them in at night and usually kiss them on the forehead or kiss them on the cheek, and you say goodnight. And it's as if God tucked Moses in on Mount Nebo on his deathbed and gave him a kiss and took his soul by a kiss and said goodnight. What a beautiful way to die. What a great birthday present to die on your birthday. Why? Because he passed from this life and entered into the next life. He was in the presence of the God he loved. He was in the presence of the God that he so desired to see face to face. And he was with his ancestors, his righteous ancestors that passed on before him, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So I think that's very awesome to think about. Guys, thanks so much for listening. Hope you've had a great week. Hope you have a great weekend. Wish you a Shabbat Shalom. Also, don't forget to check out the special devotional over these next 10 days from the Feast of Trumpets, or Rosh Hashanah, if you will, to Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, which is the reflections on the 10 days of awe. Thanks so much, guys. Love ya. Shalom, and God bless.